Ultimate game of the night.
Yes, good evening. 2 games left, as you say, Dan. Looking forward to both of these, especially this one. 2 big heavyweights. They keep waving at me. I don't know why. I haven't been able to wave back. But anyway, Raymond van Barneveld, 5 times world champion, one of the biggest talents in the game, against Stephen Bunting, still a newcomer, really,
to the PDC system. Stephen at throw first. Game on.
Into Barney, cheering on their man, Max Hop. Look at this. So he said, look, they gave me no respect in Mulheim. This is what happens when they do give me respect.
Well, I'm sorry, you're not going to get it all the time. It's just the way it is.
Well,
when they start chanting Barney Army, he doesn't ask them to stop because it upsets his opponent. It's a raw fact that it isn't going to change. At times it's going to happen, and it happens to every single player. Probably Phil Taylor's the only one it doesn't happen to be quite honest. But it is a case of getting on with it.
81, Stephen requires
81 for Barney, leaves in Shanghai, but Bunting's looking at 67 for a hold of throw and a 1-0 lead. Double 16. Gets it, 15 down leg, and a comfortable, assured start for the Bullet. Who's up? Stay on the 20s. And down for double 16.
56.
Well, an outside chance, and the one that Steve hit has not helped him at all. No, he needs the treble 20 to leave the bullseye. That leaves the bullseye for a 1-2-9.
1-4.
West of the bullseye, so now Barney comes back.
Game shot of Sagalag.
And he pins double 8. It's one apiece here. Gained some sort of vengeance here in round 1 in Innsbruck by beating the same opponent.
60.
Yeah, well, you've got to just explain that the reason that Barney's had to go through the qualifiers and not automatically seeded is because we go by the Tour Players Championships, not the world ranking. As Barney said, 118. And at the start of the year, or every 2 years, we tend to change things in the rankings. Everybody knows what the formats are, so there's actually no complaints about, well, I should be protected. You know, you get protected enough in that world ranking, and it isn't going to happen, you know, in other places. So,
and it rewards the players that turn up and play these tournaments. And you know, you see Michael van Gerwen, world number 1,
57.
just turns up to everything he can do and wins often.
yeah, so does Peter Wright, Kim Huybrechts.
Kim Huybrechts an ever-present on the European Tour in
34.
4 years of going. Barney missing out on the 11 or 12 data, but he will return looking at double 8, which he pinned in the last leg. All Bunting can do is pile on. A bit of pressure, and he's done that. He's done all that can be expected of him.
Yes, but it could be wasted, and it certainly is.
Raymond van Barneveld, full flag Raymond
Now
to throw
Stephen
first.
Bunting with a like 180 with these next 3 darts he's going to throw.
Oh, but Barney could have one of his own. Ooh, just above the treble bed with the second one, but finds it in the third. And Raymond van Barneveld has put himself in a very strong position here. 2-1 up with a break. 10:40 to kick off. Forcing Stephen Bunting to follow him. These two, of course, played an incredible game at the World Championships. Barney looks to fill it up. And does so.
I think for me, Barney, you know, is the most frustrating player because, you know, we all know how brilliant he can be. But he's so vulnerable at times with his attitude that brings his game down. And when he's playing like this, and I have to say, since Perth in Australia, he has shown some really good upturn of form.
He nearly won in Auckland, didn't he, on the World Series?
And that was a brilliant game. And possibly the other one, funny enough, is the person he played in the final was Adrian Lewis. With his talent, I believe he should have won a lot more tournaments. He's got this, just turn up, flick him in, thank you very much. He can beat anyone, thrash anybody. But Barney now on double top.
36. Stephen
Bunting, can you produce the 3rd successful 170 checkout of the day? No, you cannot.
105. Raymond, you require 40.
Barney to open up a little bit of daylight between these two.
Game shot full flag.
And it's a 13-darter again for Barney. This is a very, very impressive display from Raymond van Barneveld.
It's making it very easy for Barney. Said no pressure on the doubles.
100.
Stephen Bunting in his second year on the PDC. The first year, I mean, he wouldn't really have asked much more from himself. He won his second tournament. He made a semi-final on the European Tour in Berlin. He made another semi-final later in the year. This year, it hasn't gone to script. We've not seen him really threaten to go and win any titles, whether Pro Tour, European Tour, anything. His UK Open performance was good. He was very good at the UK Open, and that's been the highlight for him this year. But other than that, it has not been as successful as he would have liked.
121. Stephen, you require 90.
Well, you feel that Stephen Bunting's got to take this out as he goes on the 25. He's gone on the ball route. That leaves double top. 2 darts at it. 1 dart left.
Game shot.
That's all he needs. That's a good crucial shot out from Stephen Bunting.
6 leg movement in front
back, I mean,
first.
everybody's got their own personal opinions and why all players go off the boil or are playing brilliant. We've all got our opinions. But I have to say, I just felt that when Stephen Bunting changed his darts, that was when he started to go downhill, and he did it in the Premier League. And for me, the Premier League is not a time to change too many things, because every Thursday you're playing one of the best players in the world, and if you're not on form, you get your proverbial backside well and truly kicked. And all of a sudden, the first week, oh, well, no matter. Then the second week it happens, then you start to overthink it. And, you know, I just believe that weren't the right time to change his darts. And going back to these old darts, I think he's happier in his head. He said he's playing better. They feel more comfortable.
57.
It may have been something else, but hey, that's just my opinion.
Well, look, I mean, he avoided relegation in the Premier League. Not by a great deal, as I said. But he avoided relegation. That's certainly objective 1 complete. But just being in the Premier League for the first time can be a very, very tough school. It
certainly is, yes. And to say it's ruined some players is unfair, but it has knocked a lot of players' form and confidence. You know, Wes Newton,
92.
Mark Webster certainly, yes.
Yeah, it's not easy, and to bounce back from that, and you know, there's no guarantee that Stephen Bunting is going to be in the Premier League next year.
99.
He's going to give himself a chance,
180.
but he's going to need a big run at some of the big tournaments in the back end of this year. But you only have to look at how many other players are sticking their hand up.
Yes, that's right. I mean, and if they earn the right to be there, then they'll be there.
Well, a maximum for Bunting, but is it going to be another one, which is going to be to no avail? Because Barney's looking at double top. He's just moving across. And it's 4-2. And for the second time, Stephen Bunting fires in a maximum, and it is worth pretty much nothing.
Absolutely nothing. He's hitting the 1-8. We say that the 1-8s do the damage against the throw. That's when you've got to hit them. He's hitting them, but he's hitting them too late in the leg. That front 9, we talked about the front 9 average, where Barney's dominating it, and that's why Barney's getting down to a double and hitting the doubles casual. Stephen Bunting, well, there we have it. You know, his front 9 average for Stephen Bunting is just not good enough to hack it with Barney at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're only wasted because Barney is holding his nerve and finishing. I mean, if Barney misses that double top with those 2 darts, then all of a sudden, what a great shot from Stephen Bunting. You've forced that mistake from Barney there, and he's given himself a chance as Barney once again puts in a big score in the opening 3 visits of the leg. But Barney, as we saw in the Premier League, I mean, how good. When he's happy, he is amongst the best at taking out shots under pressure.
Well, that's why he's, you know, won the tournaments he has done. But if Stephen can hit the big scores earlier on in the leg, then he isn't only putting pressure on Barney's last couple of darts. He's putting pressure on 2 throws or 3 throws. And that's where the difference is.
Barney being allowed to play the game he wants at the minute. And that's a nice, relaxed stroll down to a double. And even when they are under pressure, he is taking them out just like that. That is a 10-dart leg for the 5-time world champion. He is putting on a show here. He is averaging 105, and he is throwing for a 6-2 victory.
Well, Stephen Bunting's on 100, as you can see. But the front 9 averages, we keep saying, that is where he's losing this game. There is no pressure on Barney whatsoever. Barney's getting so far in front after 9 darts that he can make it a casual little stroll in the park. And there we have it, legs 2 and 6, 17 darts. In this sort of game, Bunting has got to win those.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty good from Stephen Bunting. And he's looking to fire in a maximum, and that's where he wants it. Second visit.
Exactly.
It has been pretty good, but when you're playing a 5-time world champion, pretty good sometimes isn't enough. And he's down to a finish after 3 visits to the board again. Stephen Bunting needs to follow up that 180. You see just a bit of frustration from the man from St Helens.
83.
He is down to a finish. It's a difficult one, 139.
It is the 122 or the anything under 130 is far better, because he only needs 1 treble to have a dart in the full time. Now he's got to hit 2 trebles, and with Barney after 12 darts with the throw wants double 12. This is a crucial check out, and it's not going to happen for Stephen Bunting.
87.
Well, Stephen Bunting has turned up here and thrown up 100 average, but Raymond van Barneveld has been too good. Double 6 he wants, and double 6 he gets. And Raymond van Barneveld has really sent out a message to the rest of the field at the European Darts match play. 105.6 average. He is through to the final day of action, and he is going to face either the rebel Ronnie Huybrechts or the world #1 Michael van Gerwen. What a game that could be. A repeat of so many of their great matches. Spring to mind in the Premier League and the final of the Grand Slam. Let's go have a few words with Barney, and then we'll be back for the world #1's game with Ronnie Huybrechts, who'll be hoping